Peter Parker has the soul of a hero, but he's faced more tragedy than anyone else. When he's faced with yet another heart-wrenching trial, will God answer his prayers? Spider-Man does the unthinkable amid the superhero civil war. To get more heroes to register with the government, he unmasks himself to the world, a move criticized by his opponent and longtime friend, Captain America. I saw that little stunt you pulled on TV. Is Mary Jane happy about the Sandman having her zip code now? After disaster strikes, Spidey flips sides, joining Captain America. When Cap surrenders, a few superheroes stay underground, including Spider-Man, sporting his old black costume. But the fallout continues in Peter Parker's life. From prison, the Kingpin sees the news of Peter's unmasking. Spider-Man's hard to kill, but Peter Parker, not as difficult. From behind bars, he hires a hitman to kill Peter and his entire family. Mary Jane and Aunt May hide out in a motel as the sniper gets in position. The sniper sits and waits for the right time for Peter to come back to the motel so he can watch his loved ones die. The sniper aims at Mary Jane, but Peter's senses go off and he's able to knock her out of harm's way. Peter asks if MJ is all right, relieved that he was able to save her just in the nick of time. But from behind him, Peter looks back to his aunt, who had just taken a bullet to the stomach. She collapses on the floor in pain. Mary Jane stays by Aunt May's side in the hospital. She feels guilty, like this was her fault. I'm younger than you, May. My body's stronger. If that bullet hit me, I would have been hurt, but maybe not as bad as you. And he hasn't said anything, but I know that's what Peter's thinking too. There's still superhero work to be done, but Peter can't stay away from Aunt May's side. As he watches over his ailing aunt, he thinks about all the tragedy he's been through to this point. Even as an infant, he lost his parents in a tragedy he can't even remember. But with his aunt and uncle, he had a protective wall in the home. Outside the home, not so much. Even before superhero work, life away from home was hard as he was relentlessly bullied in school. The boy bore these daily humiliations bravely, never letting them taint his soul. Despite all of that, his belief that the world was basically a good place never wavered. Of course, that all changed when a radioactive spider dropped down to his hand and cursed this good boy named Peter. Though all the lives he saved as Spider-Man might disagree. From that fateful day on, it was as if a dark cloud settled over Peter Parker. Soon after becoming Spider-Man, his uncle was killed by a burglar, a criminal he could have stopped if he weren't so busy trying to use his powers to attain fame and glory. Peter chased the murderer down. Every fiber of his being wanted to slay his beloved uncle's killer, but he never lost the pure soul that made him a hero. Who can say what a weaker person would have done? Turned from goodness? Cursed the heavens? Forsaken everything honorable and decent in the world? Possibly, but not Peter Parker. I'm so sorry, Uncle Ben, and I swear I won't let anyone else die because of me. Even so, the good man Peter Parker never stopped facing trials, tribulations, and tragedy. No amount of good deeds he did for the world could protect the ones he loved. Peter's first love, Gwen Stacy, was killed because Spider-Man was trying to be a hero. And now, his Aunt May lies on her deathbed because Peter thought unmasking himself was the right thing to do. It doesn't matter how much good he does. The people he loves the most will pay the price for his heroism. Peter, you were talking to yourself just now. Peter shakes away his thoughts and returns to the present. You okay, Tiger? I mean, all things considered? No, Mary Jane. I don't think I am. Peter lashes out, his mind once again racing to all of those who died because of him. He storms out of the hospital room, rejecting any comfort from MJ. Where are you going? To blow off some steam, MJ. To hurt something. In Peter's rage, what will he do? Get in a bar fight? Look for trouble? Relentlessly beat down a criminal? No, Peter's too good for that. He finds himself in an empty alleyway and lays a beatdown on a dumpster, taking all of his life's frustrations out on some garbage. When he pauses for a breath, he feels a hand on his shoulder. Congratulations, that dumpster will never menace anyone again. Peter spins and raises a fist. Who? The man holds up his hands in peace. Easy, easy. I'm not looking for any trouble. Who is this man? The homeless stranger with scars covering his face. Where did you come from? I was walking by. I heard you pummeling that piece of city property. I thought maybe I can help. Peter again lashes out at the person looking to comfort him. I'd advise you to back off, man. I'm so not in the mood. You have no idea. Actually, I bet I have a pretty good idea. Why don't I buy you a burger and we can talk about it? Look, if this is some kind of scam, No scam. You just look like you could use a meal, Peter. Peter pauses for a minute. How does this guy know his name? Well, that would have been more impressive a few months ago, before he revealed himself as the city's most popular superhero. You know my name. Big deal. Last 2 months, I've been on more magazine covers than Lindsay Lohan. The man doesn't argue, but instead looks down at Peter's hands, bloodied in his fight with the dumpster. Your hands. Huh? Oh, yeah, they're pretty messed up. Don't worry, I heal fast. The man closes his eyes for a moment, pauses, and reopens. You're welcome, Peter. Welcome? Peter looks down at his knuckles. They're healed. Okay, who is this guy? Peter begins to panic. You snuck up on me and my spider sense didn't go off. Who are you? Come on, Peter. You know who I am. The man opens Peter's mind as light emanates around him. This is the one above all, the source of creation for everything that is, was, and ever will be. The one who wields love as his only weapon. The Marvel Multiverse's God. Yes. Alrighty then. Lunch, some food, my treat. The two walk down to the busy Master Shack to grab some grub, sitting together in a bustling New York City park. You're not eating your burger. I know. Or your fries. Not them either, no. Or your shake. I don't have much of an appetite. Meeting God will do that to a guy. You need to eat. Keep your strength up. Is that what I need? To eat? Peter immediately backpedals after lashing out at the most powerful being in all of creation. I'm sorry. I know you're busy and omnipotent, and I'm just this fleck. This nothing. Come on now. Peter asks the one above all the ultimate question, the one he's been dying to know ever since this curse known as Spider-Man started killing everyone he's ever loved. Since we're here, since we're breaking bread, maybe you wouldn't mind telling me if my aunt dying is all part of your cosmic scheme, your grand design for my pitiful life? If I told you it were, what would you do, Peter? That's not the answer Peter was looking for. Peter looks down, speechless, but he comes up with an answer. I would beg you to save her. I would tell you I'd give up anything to save her, even being Spider-Man. In a heartbeat, Peter begins to barter with the one above all for May's life. If you could rewrite my life's history so that the spider bites someone else and I'm spared all the death I've experienced over the years, my Uncle Ben, Gwen, her father, Harry, you could do that, couldn't you? The one above all doesn't answer. He looks at Peter for a minute, as if considering. I want to take you somewhere. Where? Oh, in an instant, they're whisked away from that busy park and to a glimmering Long Island beach. We're already here. Coney Island? Nah, it's Robert Moses Beach. Coney Island's too been there, done that, you know? Plus, I used to come here with May and Ben when I was a kid. Peter sticks his hands in his pockets and begins to relax, thinking back to happier times with his aunt and uncle. On Sundays, we'd drive from Queens. Peter loses himself in thought. Walk with me, Peter, down the boardwalk. The pair stroll down the boardwalk as Peter starts to interrogate his new friend, seeking answers regarding his constant cycle of tragedy. Did I do something bad to deserve this? Is Spider-Man punishment for some wrong I committed in a past life? No. Not at all. Okay, so is this a test? Because if I'm being tested, please let me fail. Because I have to tell you, I'm this close to breaking. It's not a test. It just is. Not a great answer for the morning Peter. Peter starts to become agitated again. Okay, then can you explain it at least? Can you help me understand, why? Oh, Peter. Human suffering is one of the mysteries. It happens for no good reason. And the people who endure it, it doesn't even always make them better. You're one of the rare exceptions. Usually it makes them worse. It happens, though, to everyone. Hard to explain why it's necessary to someone who wasn't there when the foundation of the earth was laid or when the first walls were built around the oceans. What's the point of anything then? I mean, if it's beyond understanding. Peter halts and stops his questioning. They've arrived. Well, for starters, they are. They're some of the point, Peter. Peter is faced with a massive crowd of people lining the beach as far as the eye can see. Who are they? They're an itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny sampling of all the thousands upon thousands of people you've saved as Spider-Man over the years. Parents, grandparents, entire families. Thousands upon thousands? Really? Well, I'm counting team-ups, but yeah, at least. Peter is in awe. He's never thought of it like that before. How much of an impact he's actually had on people's lives. All he remembers are those he's lost. It's weird. You pass into their lives, then out of them in a matter of minutes or seconds, and you forget their lives continue after you swing away. They go back to their homes, their jobs, apartments, because of something you did. You, Peter Parker. They move on from the crowd and watch the sunset in peace. Peter thanks the one above all for showing him that and reminding why Peter does what he does. You're welcome. Though it doesn't really answer any of your questions. It doesn't make the suffering any more bearable, does it? Peter continues to stare into the distance. No, we all have a purpose, Peter. We all have a role to play. This, unfortunately, is yours. It's like we're pieces of plankton adrift in the ocean, at the mercy of forces we can't control. The one above all remains silent as Peter begins to break down. Tears stream from his eyes as his creator gently puts his hand on Peter's shoulder. I don't want my aunt to die. Please, don't let her die. Have faith, Peter. But just like that, the one above all disappears. Peter zips back to that lonely alley with the beaten-up dumpster. How does this story end? For the moment, let's just say that it doesn't end here, in an alley behind a hospital in New York City. Let's say that it ends many, many years from now, with the man, Peter Parker, and his family surviving whatever hardships come their way. With Peter growing old and white-haired alongside the woman he loves, and their children, Benjamin and Mary. Let's say it ends with all of them blessed.